When you think of the Midwest, creative talent isn't the first thing that comes to mind. Amongst the vast farmland and countryside are creatives of all types. Filmmakers, photographers, graphic designers, music composers, sculptors. Our team is here to showcase those artists to the world. Welcome to The Next Frame.
Remember to fill out your voting ballots by picking 3 different films for the Audience Favorite Award.
And if you don't pick 3, we will find you and we will make you pick 3.
Oh, he's serious.
I'm Kat Thompson. In film, I'm usually an assistant director. First AD often is my position. On stage, usually a stage manager. Not surprising, they're pretty much the same job.
My name is Michael Keeney. I consider myself a writer first. I have done directing, producing. I have toured the country as a makeup artist. My first career was print journalism. I actually get hired to be a stunt driver now. So I've listed myself as a genie, as in poof, what do you need? Not that I'm arrogant or anything.
For me, it's not necessarily about film or stage. It's about telling stories, communicating the human experience from you to someone else. So when I was very young, I must have been maybe 10-ish. I used to get all the kids in the neighborhood together. I would use fairy tales or whatever other story I could think of, give them all parts, and I would direct shows for the neighborhood. We'd take over somebody's backyard, and I'd get everybody out there and get all the parents, we'd give them tickets, the whole bit, and have them come in. So that's probably the first organized thing I did. I started with my siblings and then I just branched out. So that'd probably be the very first thing I did, and then I started acting probably first grade.
I don't know as I ever made a decision to be a creative. Frankly, if I could, I probably would choose to not be. I've always just been that kid. I was the kid that had poetry on my mother's refrigerator because it had won a writing competition when I was 8. To me, the first time when I really fully realized, wow, you genuinely do think different. For an art class, for an Easter project, we could all make baskets or whatever you wanted to make to take the Easter bunny could take their eggs to the kids. I made an airplane. And I looked around at everybody else's Easter baskets and realized I made an airplane and nobody else was doing that. So I've always been, like it or not, this is just who I've been. One of the things where Catherine and I definitely cross over is that storytelling, both in print but also the oral narrative. Filmmaking, in terms of being able to make a career out of it, was certainly first. I made a film in high school. It was very Miami Vice. I jumped my car across the railroad tracks. Sorry, Dad. But so that was very early on. And it just has kind of bloomed from there. And I said, what is that? So I looked into it. I found out there was one here in Madison. And so I went to the people I knew I could trust, and I knew she could act, and I brought her in. We were able to shoot at a train museum where we had the full access of a depot and something like 100 cars, and I had train cars, and I had 6 vintage cars and 4 horses and 42 people in the cast and crew, and everything went swimmingly, and it was a great experience, and we won some awards. And I got to see one of the things that I love about all the stuff that we do is you get to see people discovering how much fun they're having.
Oh, it was a great experience.
And I got to see, at this point, somebody that I considered a good friend have a wonderful day. And several of my best friends have a great day, and that was really rewarding. And I got to see something that over the next couple of years, I got to do this a number of times where a thing didn't exist, and then I thought about it, and then I made it happen. And now it's real. And I'm walking around, literally walking around in my own imagination. And that is so cool. And then I got to be in a real movie theater. And at that point, I'd already seen my name on this big screen a couple of times, but I got to sit there and watch my friends see their name on a real crawl, on a real movie theater. I love seeing what can be. And the moment when you get to see other people believe, that is amazing. I dream about the things that could be. She thinks about the things that must be. Is this about the money? I said I would get the money. Mom? Mommy?
Michael.
Jeff? I don't owe you money, do I?
Oh no, not money. What you owe me is more valuable. A prize. The prize. Audience favorite.
I don't vote for audience favorite. I don't vote for anything. At its core, the 48 is this bizarro, grassroots, international film festival competition that is a crucible project. Filmmakers come together and they have literally 48 hours, one weekend, to go from nothing to a complete and completely legal film that can be shown on any screen, anywhere. Nobody gets paid, which means you can't buy an award, can't hire Steven Spielberg. We give you challenges and we take so much away that it comes down to, well, this is what I got. What can I do? And it becomes a steel sharpens steel situation. You realize you can do more than you think.
You only picked one film. You must pick 3.
That's not mine.
Yes, it is. You don't understand. You must. Before it's too late.
Oh my...
He can cut off more than just your finger.
Nope.
We gave you one job.
To select 3 films on your audience favorite ballot. We have a screening, and from there will be a Wisconsin's champion. The Wisconsin champion goes on to international round of competition. About 100 and 125 or so films make that. Last year, 5 of those films came from Wisconsin. And from there, about 10, 15, sometimes as many as 20 of those films screen at Cannes. And in 2023, one of our films made it. We're super excited about that. We're super proud of that team.
Old man Caffey built the first house in Mineral Point for his fiancée. Then he put a spell forged into the walls and the foundation. Anybody inside alone, they would experience their heart's deepest regrets.
I don't need an old town legend.
Shh, careful.
The 48 at its most basic is a bunch of friends getting together and having fun over a weekend, but it's also the potential to be somebody's golden ticket. Every year within the international competition, someone becomes a full-time hot rod filmmaker. The example that I use now most often is Gareth Edwards, who was the director of Rogue One, Star Wars film. His first film was a 48. It was 8 years earlier. In 8 years, he went from, I think I can do this, I'm gonna try this 48 thing, to directing Star Wars. And there's no reason it can't be anybody. I, again, full-heartedly believe that magic is in all of us. So it's an opportunity, but if it's a weekend with the buddies, that's great. We see people from all walks of film. We see grizzled veterans who have become jaded with the business of film, and they get together with their friends who were friends when they were all starving, and they get back to the thing that they fell in love with, which is awesome to see. We see not only college kids and high school kids, we have had elementary school teams. And we've had people tell us that, I've had a parent wrote us a letter telling about their daughter signing up, and halfway through the weekend turned it to the guy and said, "Daddy, can I do this?" "What do you mean?" "Is this a real job? I want to do this." And I'm gonna get choked up now. Just knowing that you got to help a father be there when his child found out what they want to be for a living. How many places did you get to do that? You get to do that with us. I love the talent of the Wisconsin filmmaker. They're everywhere. I will tell anybody that will listen, and even people that don't run very fast. We can do anything LA can do. We can't do the volume that they do all at once, but anything they can do, we can do here. And I can prove it to you.
I'm Billy Brickdick, and that's how you adventure.
Burden in her hands, the moon is out tonight, the bats are in the belfry, and the baby goes blue.
To me, I desperately want that talent that is here, because again, absolutely, Wisconsin patriot, homegrown. I know what we have here, and the rest of the world should too. And if that means I gotta call somebody, for me, for you, for them, for that guy, no problem. I know how good we are here, and the world should.
One of the biggest things we want to do with the 48 is build the whole community. And I think we're really trying to make it so that you met somebody on the 48 and you have a project. Hey, you know what? I could call so-and-so because they have the skill that I don't have or that I could use. And I think that's one of the wonderful things about working in that.
I would wholeheartedly agree. The 48 is the tool. The goal is the community. That's what what we're trying to do, is we're trying to make a community, and the tool that we have is the 48-hour film project. And I think, do we still have work to do? We'll always have work to do, but we're far better, we're far closer than we've been. I've been working in this industry for 20 years, and she's absolutely right that for years there was well, I have something good here, so better not let anybody else see it or get an inkling of it, because I'll lose it if I do. And more we're seeing, what we love to see is when we find teams and filmmaking crews working on stuff outside the 48. We love that. And then they're doing absolutely that. Oh, can I get him? Can I get her? And that community thing happens. And that's how we get other communities to pay attention to us. That's how we get multi-million-dollar budgets to recognize, you know what? Because it happens now on an individual basis. LA loves working with Wisconsin filmmakers because they know we work hard, they know we're smart, they know we don't know how much we're worth, and they know we don't care who gets the credit. It's true of all of us. Until we started being within Wisconsin, and then there started to be, well, I think there's only room for one or two of us, so I better make sure I'm one of those one or two. And if we can show the community that, no, there's room for all of us, there will be room for all of us. And the 48 is the tool we have.
Instead of vote for 3, it'll be vote for me.
People are gonna know you're not me.
I seriously doubt it.
What about Katherine?
Oh, she will never know the difference. Don't look at me like that.
I'm not talking to you.
Why? Oh, yeah. Well, that's fair.
Why doesn't she have a bag?
Because I like her. And actually, jeez.
Where did you get that from?
I should have thought of that years ago. There are definite advantages to being in Atlanta, Chicago, New York, LA. There are advantages to being in those locations. And if you want to be in the union and work that every day, that might be where you need to be. However, there is a ton of work happening right here. There is commercial work, there is definitely independent projects that happen. There are projects that come in and need local talent to work. You can make a living here, working in the industry.
If you love what you're doing, sometimes going to the bigger pond is just a bigger pond. And we've seen a number of people follow what they think you're supposed to do. I went and I took out a bunch of student loans and I got a degree and now I'm off to LA. And you kind of have an idea who's going to stick and who's going to not. And you worry about how long they're going to be a barista. And there's nothing wrong with being a barista. And some of them you think to yourself, 3 years? 5? Before they're back? The truth of the matter, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, is that the sooner you can start doing the thing you want to do, the better. Go to school, that's great, nothing wrong with that. But most of this business is learning those soft skills, learning how to work on a set, learning how to get the next job. It's not learning how to write a paper. In some ways, it's not even learning how to make a film. It's learning how to get asked back tomorrow. And you can do that here. You can live where rent isn't $5,000 a month for a box. She's right. Maybe LA is your calling. Maybe it's Atlanta. Maybe it's Vancouver. Maybe it's New York. Truth is, she and I both had our opportunities, and for different reasons, we call Wisconsin home. We've had our shots at the big time. It wasn't as appealing as what we have here. You got support here, you got talent here, and I go back to that, we don't know what we're worth, we don't care who gets the credit, we're willing to work hard. We will help you make it.
Keep creating. Don't wait for somebody to give you an opportunity to create. Start doing whatever it is you do now. Maybe on a small scale, or maybe be ambitious and do something that stretches you and is a lot out of your comfort zone. But keep creating. You're only gonna get better.
Puppets! I mean, that's fun, right?
Jeff, what are you doing?
Jeff, what are you doing? I thought I was the favorite. See, I can do this. I don't like being tied to a chair.
He is getting better. I'm not going to pretend I'm not offended by the way he's portraying me, but he's got you down.
Shut up, Michael.
One of the best things to do is walk out of a movie theater and listen to people say, well, you know what I'd have done if I'd have made a movie? And to be able to think to yourself, you know what I did when I did? You never ever have to say, well, what I would have done if I'd done that thing I didn't do.
Yeah, I think you want to be in a position where you have a story to tell, or maybe you just want to help someone tell a story. When you make that connection, it's totally worth all the work. So I would agree with Michael, just keep doing it.
Yes, it's scary.
It's
Do
scary,
it anyway.
keep doing it.